Hello, this is Yvonne, and welcome back to Black Men Do Think. Today's episode is called Where's the Proof? Finding God Beyond Other People's Stories. If someone tells you a miracle happened, should you believe them? Or should God reveal himself to you personally? Today we're asking the hard questions because if faith is real, shouldn't we all be able to see the evidence in our own lives, not just in someone else's testimony? So, why do we rely on testimony? Why do Christians accept the Bible's miracles without firsthand experience?
Well, that's a great question, and that's a very tough answer to get to. Uh, the reason why we believe in miracles and without firsthand experiences is because we've been told to believe those things. We have not deeply and intricately looked at what a miracle is, what is faith, and why should we believe it. Okay, Christianity is built on three things to keep you controlled. And if you look at them separately and look at them intricately, you'll see that it's stupid. I mean, I don't want to be so minute and so small, but you'll see how silly it is. And the three things they use is mystery, prophecy, and miracles. Okay, mystery, prophecy, and miracles are the three things in Christian faith that keep things people into this fog and this glaze. And I hope we can get into that a lot deeper, and I'll explain why mystery, miracles, and prophecy are the foundation of Christianity and to keep you confused.
Mhm. Is faith weaker or stronger if it depends on other people's accounts?
Okay, so let's go into deep philosophical talk about faith. Faith, by definition, is believing in something without evidence. So, right there, faith is stupid. The belief in something without evidence is the definition of insanity. When people can get you to believe in things without having to prove them or back it up, now you're truly a slave. See, in order to argue with a Christian, I'd be like, look, this is where we have to start at, okay? This is where we're at. We have to agree that the sky's blue. See, we can point out a full contradiction in the Bible. There's thousands of them, and they'll make it happen. Like I've been studying in depth Jesus's birth narratives. There's two of them out of our four Gospels, Matthew and Luke. They could not be further apart, and their genealogies completely contradict. Now, somebody may say, "Oh, well, Matthew is following the genealogy from the kingship line, and Luke is following this genealogy." The problem with that is there's a pre-monarchical period in Judaism from Abraham to David. Why don't none of those people match up there? The reason being is it's a contradiction, but Christians will not admit it. So when people will not admit clear truths, it's hard to get through. And that's why the church and faith leaders lean so hard on faith, because they can get you to believe in things without evidence and without having to prove it. Let's go to a miracle. Okay. So if a miracle happens, like let's say that Jesus turned water into wine, okay, and you was at that wedding, but I wasn't, and you come running up to me, Trey, Jesus just turned water into wine. We drank wine all day. Man, it was crazy. Okay. The first thing I have to do is transfer my faith from Jesus, the miracle worker, to Yvonne, the person who witnessed it, for me to believe the miracle happened. So I'm no longer believing in the miracle worker or God or the prophet. I have to believe in you first to believe in them. And that's why miracles don't matter. Whether that miracle occurred or not means nothing to me. I still have to go to work. I still have to feed my family. So miracles on paper don't matter. Everything the holy almighty creator does matters. So a miracle is an elimination of something he would use to reveal himself to you because it doesn't matter. Jesus walking on water 2,000 years ago does nothing for you today. Absolutely. The belief in it does not, whether it happened or not. He could have. He could not have. If he did or didn't, does not matter. And I contend that every single thing that the Almighty One Creator does matters.
So why would God choose to reveal himself to some and not others?
The simple answer is he does not. He does not. Okay. The worst thing that has happened to man, especially black people, is revealed religion. Okay. Revealed religion is terrible. Okay. Why would God only reveal himself to one person and then have to rely on a transfer of faith for you to believe in that person? It makes no sense. God reveals himself to all. The living manifestation of all his miracles are here for us to see every single day without the need of a prophet, without the need of language, a book, or a text, or something that is not universally known. The sun rises in the east. That is a miracle from God that he performs for you every day to let you know there's something out there bigger than you. A hurricane, a tornado, wind, the sun. All of these are manifestations of God that man can never duplicate. He shows you every day. That's his revelation to you, showing you that that creation you'll never be able to do. He doesn't use a wicked prophet. All the prophets of the Bible are just wicked, evil men, and they're the ones writing about their prophecy. Nobody else can tell. Moses is a rapist, murderous, genocidal thug. You don't have to take my word for it. Let's go to let me get it for you guys right quick, if okay, because you all don't really read the whole Bible and read it thoroughly enough. If we go to Numbers 31:17, Moses in that command, he tells them, take all the women that have known a man or are currently pregnant, kill them. But all of the virgins keep for yourselves. That is wholesale rape. That's the patriarchal, the foundational prophet of Judaism, Moses. He's a rapist thug. He's a murderous, rapine thug. So God does not use those type of men and then let them write their own victory stories about it. It makes no sense. We have to contest this type of revealed religion through these revealed prophets.
Well, I feel like you've touched on this. So if God is love, why wouldn't he give every single person undeniable proof? And does relying on ancient testimony make faith blind, or is that the point?
Well, God does give us, as I said, he does give us undeniable proof every single day. When I look at you or another human being, I know I can't create that. See, that's what people don't look at intricately. Okay. The process of making a human is sex. But we have no idea how that baby grows. We have no idea how the legs and arms. That's God. God says, you do the process, I'll do the work. When we have a seed, we put it in the ground. We know the process of sunlight, water, air, and then a oak grows out. But we have no idea how a tree grows from that because that's God. We have a role, he has a role. He shows us every single day. He's not in this contradictory book. Here's something that I also put to parents and put to people. Studying the Bible as as anything other than a genre of literature, you literally have to unlearn that to go learn the right things. Let me give you an example. There are two creation stories. They're on the first two pages of the Bible, if you don't believe me. Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, 2.2a. Okay. And both of these accounts, they're scientifically stupid. They're scientifically wrong. And if you taught your kids that that was the accurate creation, your kids will be so far behind. In Genesis 1, he creates the planet, and then he doesn't create the sun and the moon till like the third day. Now he says, "Let there be light," but then on the third day, maybe the third day, then he creates the sun and the moon, then the planet. See, if you taught your kids that that was the actual process of the creation of the world or creation of humanity, they would have to unlearn that stupidity and then learn the proper way. There's no concept of the planet or trees or animals arriving before the sun. And then the Bible, they give them a second shot. Genesis 2, there's another creation story. That's your Adam and Eve story. These are two separate stories. And he gets it wrong in both. So literally studying the Bible in Genesis 2, let me give you another. So he creates man on day one. Okay, he creates man day one. He creates woman day six. And then he has a planet with no water or anything with the man on it. It makes no, it's no way you can rationalize this as a scientific study. So literally, my point is, if you have your kids study that, they will have to unlearn that stupidity and then go to science class in school and learn the proper way. So studying this book is not of God; it's of stupidity.
Okay. So, what counts as evidence today? What would you personally consider undeniable evidence of God?
I'll continue to say it, the manifestation of all its creation, an ocean, a lake, all of these things you cannot create. We cannot create. I think it's safe to say in 200 years, you and I, or nobody listening to this show, will be here still living. But we can all safely say they will not be able to stop a hurricane. You will not be able to stop an earthquake. All you can do is get away. All you can do is leave. These things are unmovable forces. These things are God. Anything, man, the things that we cannot create. God shows himself universally. And these are the things he does not require for you to see his revelation. Language. Language dies. Jesus spoke Aramaic only. Okay. So if you and I met Jesus, he couldn't even tell us he's God because he doesn't speak English. He has no concept of it. He only spoke Aramaic. Some people think he spoke Greek, which is asinine. He didn't. But let's just say he did speak Greek. I'll give you that. He did not. But let's say he did. We don't speak Greek. Neither do most of the people in the world. Greek is a very small, like only very minute people even today still speak Greek. So God does not use things that are not universally known. He does not use one messenger that can shoot out a prophecy and then 2,000 years or 1,500 years later, oh, there it is. Moses is I'm sorry, excuse me. Abraham is about 1,800 years before Jesus. Abraham is about 1,400 years. So they can just shoot out a prophecy and they got 1,400 years to hit the target. That's how silly believing in a prophet is. Anybody can be right with that kind of range.
Mm-hmm. So, do everyday coincidences qualify as divine signs, or are we forcing meaning onto them?
Look, so here's the thing. What I keep trying to get people to understand: if something, miracle or something, and it happens to you, I'm not denying that. That's for you. But soon as you go tell somebody and then I have to believe them, it's no longer my revelation or my miracle. It's hearsay. I'm hearing it. It wasn't revealed to me. I never saw it. So I'm not saying it didn't happen, but for me to believe it happened, I have to believe somebody else. And I just don't believe God works that way. God speaks to us all in every single way, his divine creation. His laws are unbreakable. So that would mean a miracle cannot happen by God's own law. What I mean by that is, okay, the Bible and no religious book has any laws in it. All it has is moral ascriptions. If you wanted to murder me, you could murder me. You could sneak a gun. You could shoot me. Now, there may be consequences for it. You'll go to jail, all this other stuff. But you have the ability to do it. If you were to go jump off a cliff, you will fall if you don't have an apparatus because you cannot break gravity. That's God's law. Geometry, mathematics, these principles are unbreakable. Those are God's true laws, not these moral ascriptions that a man wrote down that he thinks is God's law.
So, if an answered prayer is an answered prayer a miracle, or could it be by chance?
So let's
So,
let's yeah, okay. So let's take prayer. For its prayer is also silly. If we have an all powerful, all knowing God, you're a mother. If you came into the room and you saw your daughter on the ground, would she have to ask you to help her? You would just reflectively help her because you see she's in need, but not according to this Christian God. He wants you to get on your knees first. If you got cancer, get on your knees and beg me. Get on your knees and pray to me. Oh, if you need help, I know you need it because I'm an all powerful, all knowing God, but I want you to beg me for it. How arrogant and vain is that? No. So if something, and just by reflective, okay, whatever you're praying for, somebody else has a bigger need. By God answering that prayer and overlooking that prayer, that's ignorant. We just lost D'Angelo to to cancer. Okay, I don't remember what kind, but to cancer. So if you have a cold and you pray to God and He cured you of your cold, but then He watched him die of cancer, did God do that? But did God do that? You see, so it makes no sense to put that onto God when God just makes and that's that.
Okay. So, can nature itself be considered proof of God's existence, which you have already said it is?
Absolutely, absolutely, it is.
So, do personal feelings of peace, love, or conviction count as evidence, or is that just psychological?
I know this is tough to swallow because people are, oh, you're messing with my belief, you're messing with that. What I really want you all to do is see the cloud of illusion religion puts upon you. And if you just think logically, let's just look at it, take your dogmatic faith out and come back in and let's look at this logically. We're believing in something without evidence. And only in the realm of religion do we let that slide. Like there's no other world where somebody can just say, hey, buy this. I got a plane for you. I can't show it to you, but believe this guy. I need you to pay me for the plane and believe this guy that I got it. Nobody would do that. But that's what you're doing in religion. You're taking the account of people you don't even know word for something that is fact. And I'm trying to get people to like let's think about that. Let's that's silly. Let's get out of that. And then on top of that, we're only seeing a group of people profit out of this. So maybe we need to question this a little bit harder.
So, for people that are wrestling with doubt and truth, if God wanted to convince humanity of his existence, how could he do it in a way no one could deny?
He does it every single day. You need to go outside and look at the moon, look at the stars, look at the sun. You cannot deny the creation of that was something much bigger than you did it. There's no way a man can or would do that. So every single day you see God's full miracles. His full now it may not be what you consider a miracle, like walking on water, even though that's not a miracle. God, the sun is a miracle. Seeing a puppy dog is a miracle. Everything you cannot create is God's works and miracles.
Okay. So, if miracles today can be faked or misunderstood, how do we tell the difference between truth and illusion?
Well, let's get back to this. Okay, a miracle does not matter. So do not get impressed by a miracle. Okay, uh, uh, I try to give this example all the time. Okay, let's say I have a book. Let's say this is a book, all right, that I wrote. And I said, hey, Yvonne, a hand came down out of the ceiling and grabbed the pen out my hand, grabbed the keyboard, and it wrote every single letter of this book. Would you believe me? No, you would not. But let's say a hand really did come down out the ceiling, grabbed the pen or the keyboard and wrote every letter of the book. Would you believe me? No. So it didn't matter if it happened or not. You still don't believe me, and it didn't matter if it did or didn't. So miracles do not matter. If something spectacular happens in your life, fantastic. Great. That's you. I'm not required to believe it if I didn't see it. I'm not required to believe man. I'm not. I'm not. I can believe God, the sun, the moon, the stars, but I am not required to believe. And also, miracles do not matter. I hope a miracle does happen in your life, but if it does not matter to me. My rent is still due the 15th of every month. It has no effect on me. And God does not do anything. The Almighty God does not do anything that does not matter. So the miracle doesn't matter. So to answer your question, it doesn't matter.
Well, is it possible that God intentionally hides making faith a choice rather than a reaction to proof?
Again, faith is believing in something without evidence. Everything God does leaves evidence. So God has no faith in him. He doesn't ask you to believe in things without miracles. He shows his manifestation every day. He has laws and principles, mathematics, geometry, trigonometry, physics. Those principles, those laws are his word to you. They're unbreakable. They don't rely on a person. When you look at a math book, we rarely know the author because the author does not matter. The principles do. The book is not dependent on the author. The principles are dependent on them working out. But see, the Bible is dependent on the author being revealed this. But we know that these people did not write it. Moses did not write the Torah. He did not write the first 5 books of the Bible. We have absolutely no idea who wrote the Gospels. They are all anonymous. Church fathers in the year 185 and later in the year 385 CE slapped names onto these books. The final version of the New Testament was canonized in the year 385. That's 355 years after Christ died. Then the names are anonymous into the year 185 when a church father slapped the names onto these books when the apostles had been dead for over 100 years. So these were taking accounts of men that did not know the men they're talking about or writing about as fact. That's silly. That's the type of mysticism that they get you to be clouded in to confuse you.
So, how should Christians handle the fact that other religions also claim miracles and divine signs?
They dumb too. All religious texts and books are of man. There's no God in them. They didn't consult God. They didn't ask God's opinion in them. They wrote their own literary compositions. And that's what the Quran is. That's what the Torah, Pentateuch, Septuagint, the New Testament, Old Testament, Coptic, all these books are works of man's imagination. You don't believe me? Read Luke 1. I tell everybody this. Read the prologue of Luke. He tells you how he gets his information. He is a researcher. He looked up information and took on accounts of stories, and he is the one who wrote them down. He tells you this, and that is true for all of the books. Notice what he does not mention in his prologue. It's 2 key points he does not mention. 1, his name. 2, God. Tells you how he got all his information to compile this text, and he does not mention 2 things: his name and God.
Okay. Well, would you still believe in God if no one ever told you about him and it was just you and the world around you?
That is the biggest misconception. I believe in the true God. Yes, I believe in God. I see God every single day. These Christians don't believe they see God. I believe I see God every single day. When I walk outside and I see the sun, when I see the moon, when I feel the rain, when I feel the wind, when I feel the power and the glory of the Almighty Creator, yes, I would believe in God even more in that situation than I do now because I can always see him. It's not a day that doesn't go by that we, each and every one of us, cannot see God.
So, have you ever felt that God has revealed himself to you personally?
Yes, absolutely. He reveals himself to me personally every day. See, the study of
In a
the
way
truth.
that's not the same for someone else.
Well, that's what I believe is the true individual relationship we have with God. It's your personal attestation of how nature, man, the culmination. But when you are confused into a world of Christianity, believing a dead Jew that lived 2,000 years ago died for your sins, now you are clouded and can't research God. Now you can't really study the true God. Now you're pigeonholed. That's why I believe religion is a slave mentality in all religions, not just Christianity, because it teaches you that this is it. There is nothing finite in this world but death.
So, what's the difference between believing in God because of the Bible and believing because of your own experiences?
Most of us, me included, being a Christian is geographical. Most people, especially black people, you're Christians in America because of Western society. If you were black in Africa, you'll be a Muslim. That's just how it is. It's geographical and it's societal. So what we have to do and what my goal is to do is first to free people by opening up their minds to think logically. Let's just look at everything. Let's question everything. Everything told to us, not just religion, everything. Let's question everything. Let's research it for ourselves and then get a greater understanding. I was a Bible toting Christian all the way most of my life until I decided to research it for myself and start at the beginning and reading it, and it started with just seeing the contradictions on page 1 and 2, the first two creation stories. How can God contradict himself and in such a large way? And that is what really set it off, because if he can't even get the creation right, how can we get anything else right? He can't even, and then you have two shots at it. It's two creation stories. Genesis 1 and 2. You wrong in both?
Well, should Christians seek out personal encounters with God instead of just relying on Scripture?
Absolutely. We have to get out of this murderous, barbarous written scripture. Whether you look at the Old Testament or the New Testament, these are written by horrific men. I mean, let's just go to the New Testament. The bulk of it is written by a guy named Paul. The Gospels that only talk about Jesus, we have 27 books of the New Testament. Only four actually are about Jesus. So that's problematic right there. Then the bulk of the Bible is written 13 letters. Yeah, 13 letters are written by Paul. Okay, who is Paul? Who is Paul? Paul is not a person we would trust in any other realm other than religion. Whether a Jew or a Christian, he is just a zealot. He has no in between. He's either harshly persecuting Christians or he's harshly persecuting Jews, but he's never any middle ground. And when we have a man like that that's so extreme to the right or to the left, they are never to be believed on any literary or philosophical level because they are so extreme. They'll do whatever to get you to believe. So we have to look at these people in contextual view. Who are we taking this as fact? Who are we taking this as biblical? A guy who's a murderer and a liar and then all of a sudden has a heat stroke and claims he saw that Jesus spoke to him and told him that. But hold on, wait a minute. That story is only in the book of Acts, which he did not write. When we go to the book of Galatians, the book he did write, he tells a completely different story about how God revealed himself to him. So we can't even trust the Bible for revelation because they contradict each other in every way. Don't take my word for it. Check it out yourself. In the book of Acts is when Paul gets hit by the light and Jesus speaks to him. But Paul did not write the book of Acts. Luke did. Paul did write the book of Galatians. So why do we take Luke's word instead of Paul's? I'll tell you why. Because Luke's story sounds better. That's a much better story than Paul's account of being separated in the womb. That don't sound fun at all. Getting hit by a bolt of lightning, Jesus coming out the cloud and speaking to you. Now that sounds much more. Let's put that down. See what I'm saying? They contradict each other, and God is never contradictory.
So, if you've never experienced a miracle, does that mean your faith is incomplete?
Again,
Okay.
we experience miracles daily. The sun rising in the east. You, me, things that are bigger than us. Seeing a dog, seeing a cat. So miracles do happen daily. They may not happen like you think they happen, but they happen every day. And when you see that that's the greatness of God, the true God, now you understand them and appreciate them so much more.
Okay, so what would your faith look like if all you had to go on was your own life's evidence?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have no faith. Okay, I am a historian. I don't possess anything. I don't believe in anything without evidence. Everything I have, I need some evidence. I don't. I may not need a lot. Evidence varies, but I do need proof. Believing in things without evidence is the pure textbook definition of insanity. And I hope to get us all out of thinking that. Quit believing things without evidence. You need evidence. Now, you can believe in yourself. Believing in yourself is not without evidence. You have previous evidence of you doing what you want to do, waking up, working hard, strategizing. Those are the type of things that have belief. But faith is the complete belief without any evidence. I have none of that.
Okay. So if you've been relying on someone else's story to believe in God, maybe it's time to look for your own.
Yes.
This week, ask if God is real, where is he showing up in my life? Okay? Because a faith you've experienced yourself will always be stronger than one you've just inherited.
Hey, make sure you click subscribe. I love engaging with you guys. Everybody's been keeping it respectful, and I love it. Keep the questions coming. Please subscribe. I want to grow. I hope to get the message out and just keep the dialogue, because at the end of the day, we're thinking. We're thinking, and that is the entire point of this show. It's just to get you to think. Till next time, y'all. Hey, that was good, baby.
Got roll.